2020 has been tough on everyone. It's a year we'd all like to put behind us. But in this video, I want to take a moment to look back on one good part of this dumpster fire of a year, the great games I've enjoyed. I'm Amanchu. On my YouTube channel, I play video games that have a story to tell and talk about it while I play. None of the games I played in 2020 were bad, but some were better than others. I'm going to highlight the best 3. If your favorite game isn't on the list, maybe I just didn't play it. Or maybe you're just wrong and I'm right because I know better than you what makes a video game good. The games I played in 2020 are Ghost of Tsushima, Reventure, The Last of Us Part 2.
See, there's a sequel. Wasn't as good.
Prey.
For this next part, I'm going to display an image. I want you to take a good look at it. In a moment, I'm going to ask you what... is my coffee? It's empty.
Oh my God!
Journey to the Savage Planet. Metro Exodus. Outer Wilds. Life is Strange 2.
I know it sucks, but you have to grow up now. Fuck. Daniel, stop it! Stop it, Daniel! No!
I'm not a kid anymore.
The Outer Worlds.
Came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be fucking laminated.
You may notice that not all of these games came out in 2020. Some are even more than a year old. Hey, I'm talking about games I played in 2020, not restricted only to games that came out in 2020. So what makes a game great? In my humble but nonetheless undeniably 100% correct opinion, it's a game that has a story to tell. A game that shows you a new perspective on an intriguing idea. It's a game that makes you think. So before I get into the top 3, I think a dishonorable mention should go out to The Last of Us Part 2. This game did not have any new or intriguing idea. It did not give me a different perspective on things that I hadn't considered. I get what it was trying to say, but nobody likes to be lectured at by a self-righteous, immature, privileged little brat that thinks they know everything and you don't.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
So, moving on, without further ado, here are the top 3 games I played in 2020. Number 3, Ghost of Tsushima. Is there anything so important to you that you would sacrifice everything for it? Everything you were taught to believe growing up, your own family, your reputation, your very identity. That's what Jin Sakai gave up for his people. Ghost of Tsushima is an action RPG that takes place in 14th century Japan during a Mongolian invasion of the island of Tsushima. As Jin Sakai, the last samurai on the island, you must resort to unconventional methods to defeat the huge invading army and drive them from your home. Ghost of Tsushima is stunningly beautiful. Everywhere you go, you find jaw-dropping, gorgeous scenery, with a minimal HUD, which will not interfere with your immersion. This is accomplished in part by the guiding wind mechanic. In place of a mini-map or compass, the leaves and flowers blowing on the wind direct you to your objective. There is something very satisfying about cutting through the bad guys, whether in a standoff where Jin shows off his lightning reflexes, taking out up to 5 bad guys with 5 blindingly fast swings of his sword, or beheading a Mongol leader from behind, making the other enemies scramble away in terror. But being the great game that Ghost of Tsushima is, the story puts the violence in perspective. There's a reason Jin goes on his murderous rampage, and he's destined to pay a heavy price for it. With an incredible cast of supporting characters such as the anti-villain Ryuzo, the tragic character badass murder grandma Lady Masako, the warrior monk with survivor's guilt Norio, and the dedicated master of the bow with a lifetime of regret, Sensei Ishikawa. It's a huge injustice that none of them was considered for best performance in a video game. Ghost of Tsushima is a game that you can just play through the main story and ignore the extra parts of these side characters' tales, but to do so does a great disservice to them and yourself. Number 2. Prey.
Typhocacoplasmus. Everyone calls them mimics. Be careful what you pick up.
I'm sure we all have regrets. And we've all considered, if you could go back and give a piece of advice to your past self, what would you say? What you probably didn't consider is, would your past self believe your future self? If who we are is a result of our memories and experiences, what happens if we lose those memories? Does it make us a different person? Prey is a first-person shooter game set on a futuristic research station orbiting the moon. Very quickly the game throws a plot hook at you that makes you question everything you see and hear. The research station develops and manufactures implants that instantly give the recipient advanced skills or abilities. But if the implant is ever removed, you don't just lose the special skill, you'll not remember everything you did while you were wearing the implant. These implants are made possible thanks to an alien life form with strange mimicry powers. And of course, it's a video game, so the bugs get out of their cages and wreak havoc on the station. Because your character just had all their implants removed, he or she doesn't remember how things went wrong. You have to explore the station trying to survive, figure out what went wrong, and decide what you want to do about it. You could say that Prey is Paranoia the video game. Is that clipboard on the floor just a clipboard, or an alien spider thingy just waiting to jump at you? I remember the cold sweat panic when I noticed 2 toasters on a counter. One of those things does not belong. Anything can be an enemy waiting to pounce as soon as you drop your guard, and you can't trust anyone. Not even yourself. There are multiple endings to Prey, and I was very satisfied to find an unconventional ending on my first attempt, thanks to my extreme paranoia. Hey, you can't expect me to trust a disembodied voice on the radio guiding me along. I played BioShock. Number 1. Outer Wilds. Douglas Adams' novel, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, answers the ultimate question to life, the universe, and everything with the unsatisfying answer, 42. This illustrates the point that the answer means nothing if you don't understand the question. Outer Wilds gives a different take on the question and the answer of life, the universe, and everything. In Outer Wilds, you are an alien from the planet Earth, setting out in a haphazardly constructed rickety spaceship to explore the solar system. At first, the cutesy, cartoonish characters and light-hearted dialogue can trick you into believing that Outer Wilds will be a fun time lacking any deep meaning. But soon after leaving your home planet, you will find there's a lot more to discover than it at first appeared. Each time you leave Earth to explore, you discover a new piece of a large, intricate puzzle. It's just enough to leave you with more questions and make you excited to keep exploring. Bit by bit, you piece things together to find answers to astronomical questions like, where did our species come from? What is the purpose of our existence? Are we alone in the universe? How did the universe begin? How will it end? And what is at the end of the universe? Somehow, no matter where you go, you will find something amazing that fits into a larger story. Every player will find things in a different order, but it will lead you in time to the emotional conclusion. It's a shame that this game is not very well known, because it is really something special. My playthrough of Outer Wilds has had the best positive feedback of any game I've played for my YouTube channel to date. That's at least partly thanks to YouTube's mysterious and fickle algorithms, which I will never be able to crack. But trust me, Outer Wilds is as good as any of those other games I've played, and you should check it out if you haven't heard of it before. If you want to actually watch a full playthrough of Outer Wilds or any of the games I mentioned, click on the link to my channel below. And if you made it this far in the video, it probably means you liked it, so do me a solid and click that like button. That's it for my list. Congratulations, you made it to 2021. I'm the kind of person that believes that no matter how bad things get, it can always get worse. Does that make me a pessimist or an optimist? I don't know about that, but this best of list shows that there was at least something good that came out of 2020. And I think we can at least all hope that things will get better in 2021.